Okay, I'm going to give you a quick tutorial on using Biro. Biro is not a quick material to use, so I'm going to be rushing through it a little bit, but basically if you're using Biro really quickly, it probably is an indication that you need to slow down, and you would get better results if you went a bit more slowly. So I'm just going to show you a few techniques that you can use using Biro. So notice the way that I'm using my Biro here. I'm trying to make those marks as light as I possibly can. Big Biros are good. If you've got a dodgy Biro, you're going to find Biro drawing really a bit of a struggle, so definitely try and find the right Biro before you start. As you know, Biro shades are not equal, so if you have a blue Bic Biro, you might find that you get a different shade if you're using a blue Staedtler Biro, for example. Oh, and having said that, it looks like my blue Biro is being a bit temperamental, and that's when you get these, I think, less successful marks. Okay, so what I'm trying to avoid is these sort of marks, which are a bit heavy-handed. I prefer the lighter marks where you build up layers gradually. So here, as you can see, I've got a fairly geometric shape, a cone. So I'm using hatching, because obviously I've got very clear straight vertical lines, and then my horizontal lines are curving round to follow the shape of the object. So if you're using hatching, you need to be following the shape of the object. Okay, when you're using Biro, don't forget that your lighter shades are not going to be created using the Biro, they're going to be created using the paper, so know when to stop. Sorry, this is because the Biro is being a bit temperamental. I'm having to move my paper slightly. Okay, so just building up lines. As I say, I'm rushing this a bit. I would generally prefer to go a bit slower to get more successful results. You can use fine liners for this as well. What are the dangers of fine liners? Fine liners, unlike Biros, smudge. So if you've got your hand moving across the paper and you're using fine liners, you may need to just be a bit careful, maybe put some paper under your hand to protect your drawing. Okay, so that is hatching. Okay, look at the way I'm writing there, by the way. That is how I don't want you to be using Biro. Okay, this is a scumble technique where you just use like a small controlled scribble, so as if I was mixing a very small miniature cake. Again, I'm just being a little bit heavy-handed with the scribbles here. I would prefer it if you were pressing lighter and building up layers, but I am really conscious that I don't want to make this video 20 minutes long. But you get the basic idea there. So just building up those layers and gradually pressing lighter as you get further away from the dark areas. Oh, I can see my cat's coming near. Fingers crossed she's not going to come into the shop. Okay. So that is scumble. And then the only other thing I'd like to talk about is how you might use different techniques for different objects. So here I have drawn a Biro. Again, to try and save a bit of time, I've got quite far on with the drawing of it. Again, notice the way I'm leaving some bits completely light. But because it's a long straight thing, I'm using just hatching actually. I'm not even using cross hatching here, so just lines going in one direction. Don't forget to save the darkest tone for the area under the object. So your object really pops out of the page, you get a really nice contrast. Like that. Okay, so that is just hatching, and then here I've got a flower because I thought that's a bit more of a rounded object, so for something more rounded it might be more appropriate. You might just find you get on better with one of the techniques, one or other of the techniques. So for this one I'm going to use scumble. The only other thing I just want to mention, but this is a bit of a long shot, if any of you happen to have a selection of colours, I bought one of these packs for myself as a treat at Christmas, and I really enjoy using the different colours. So blue and black is fine. You'll find lots of these at home. Actually, no doubt you'll have a green one in your pencil case as well, but I just quite like the colour combinations. I think you can get some really interesting colour combinations using these different coloured biros. Just something a bit different. Okay, so there's the classic blue and green, which we've all got in our pencil cases, because we get. Then you could bring in a lighter green. Kind of mixing it, so going right back over the blue area with the other colours. And then randomly, let's try a little bit of pink, see what this looks like. It might just look absolutely awful, but these are the colours that I could locate. Okay, so you could have a go with different colours as well. But that is my approach to drawing with a biro in a nutshell. I'd love it if you could have a page like this where you practice the techniques and the materials before you start working on your main drawing. Thank you.